From subcontractor to business owner, we're going to talk with Sharon Harrington, the CEO of Immediate, about ways she grew her company. We are here today talking about creating a positive workplace culture with Sharon Harrington, the CEO of Immediate. Thanks so much for talking with us about your business, which is about 4 years old now, but about how you go into companies to help them create peace before any potential problems arise. And I know that you had gotten into this business because you did this as a career, dealing with companies after problems happen.
Yes. One of the things when I go in is probably the biggest thing that companies can do is, be authentic, be genuine when you look at leadership. People appreciate that. People want to know they're appreciated for the work they do. In fact, I just worked with a team where we had gone through several things of the values, and I asked, is there anything I'm missing? And one person raised their hand and said, appreciation. It would be nice to be appreciated. So organizations can learn what that means about within their organization. They can learn. So that's one of the things. One of the other things I would say is that it's a difficult thing to have to deal with. Courage, having the courage to be able to say the things that are uncomfortable. That can be difficult. We can learn those skills as well. Bill Treasurer, I think his name, who does a lot on just courage, being a courageous leader. So those are things that we can build and we can get the confidence to do, because it's not easy being a leader. You're worried about a lot of different things, but you really have to be the one to step up. And what I say to leaders is, once employees see you doing that and know that you have their back, you'll see them step in and do things where you won't have to.
Can you describe a workplace culture that you've had to fix where things are not going well?
When I walk into an organization and people aren't talking to each other, and the only way they talk to each other is through email, or the only way they'll sit in and talk is if they have a union rep, and the trust is way, way down. That's probably the most problematic situation, because in order to do the work I do, I have to have employees that will give me the truth. And I do this through focus groups. I use instant response devices where they can click and I ask them questions, and it's based on whether it's on a more positive side or a more negative side. And when they click, and they click anonymously, they can then see how their click compares to the others in the room. And we can see right away if there's a problematic area. But I have to dig even deeper, because I have to find out what those clicks mean. Like if I asked a question, do you feel respected in the workplace? Or I feel very respected in the workplace. 5, I strongly agree with that statement. 1, I strongly disagree. Well, if I find a situation where we've got them on both sides, which oftentimes it is, that polarizing effect, I have to ask them what that means to them. What is it in their environment? So when we do that, that starts to give me the information I need to go in and start working on how do we start to build that trust. Because if they won't tell me, I can't go there. And one of the things I say to them, if we're going to make progress, you have to give me the truth. But in order to get the truth, I've got to create a safe environment for them to feel that they can do it. And then I say to the leaders, I'm going to give you the responses, not padded or anything. I'm going to give it to you straight, because that's what you're going to have to work with.
For company leaders who don't feel this is important work to take place until after a problem happens, what can be the positive results of a company culture that is rocking?
What I can tell them, and statistics will support this, the organization that's able to resolve those conflicts and those difficult situations the fastest is the one that's going to be zooming to the top. Because what we all know is that conflict takes a lot of time. In fact, it's one of the top things that leaders say consume their time. For the leader in the organization who's able to resolve that very quickly, they're able to move on with the objectives of the business and propel. Whereas the company that's not, they're being held back. And you sometimes see some of those things, as employees go public on websites like Glassdoor or some of those others where they talk about what's going on. That oftentimes gives me an idea, of some of the things that's going on.
Sharon, some great ideas and things to think about for those who have bigger teams that they're trying to grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's all